Basketball 30.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new series here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103. It's called Basketball 30. We're doing a review of all the area basketball teams, specific to all 10 teams in the Shack. And, of course, later on we're going to dial into Western Brown as well as Georgetown, the G-Men. But today we're featuring the Fayetteville Rockets and the Fayetteville Lady Rockets. We're talking about some of the best high school basketball in the state of Ohio. It may be a small school, but it's big stuff when it comes to the interest level and what the kids' participation and, of course, the interest of all the fans. And that's what we're doing this for, so the fans get an opportunity to hear all about Fayetteville today and the Rockets. And we'll do that right after this on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
Do you have a property that is more trick than treats? That old spooky building that needs to come down? The mysterious water leak that destroys everything? And the piles of trash everywhere that scares you of what you'll find? With Brush Creek Property Pros, there is no fear. Let us handle the horrors. Call us today for all of your property cleanup needs. That number is 937-671-6843, or visit our website at brushcreekpropertypros.com.
The Fayetteville Athletic Boosters are proud to sponsor this coverage of the Fayetteville Rockets. The Athletic Boosters work hard behind the scenes to encourage their teams to do their best. The Rockets understand this and are dedicated to doing just that. Congratulations, your hard work and drive showed through. Whether basketball, volleyball, baseball, football, or any other sport, the Fayetteville Athletic Boosters say good luck, Rockets.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Basketball 30. Now, if you're listening on C103 on the radio station, remember, if you've not checked out Basketball 30, it's really simple. You can go to our Facebook page, either C103 or Good Guys Radio TV. You can also go to our YouTube channel. We have that. You can also go to our website, goodguysradiotv.com. The cool thing about this, first of all, it's all free. And in addition to that, if you happen to be listening right now, you can also go back later and watch it. And again, it's all free. You can watch it any place, anytime. You can watch it on your laptop. You can watch it on a smartphone. You can watch it on your TV, your smart TV, anything. And you can watch it as many times as you'd like. And we would ask you to do this. Step up and support the local high school basketball. Joining us today, as I said, it's Fayetteville Rockets. And the new athletic director and the new head coach for Fayetteville, Joe B. Stewart. Welcome, Joe B.
Great to be here.
Joe B., you're one of those guys. You and I, in passing, have said hello to each other 50 times in the last many years. You've coached for a long time, but first time in the Shack. Let's not assume everybody knows about Joe B. Stewart. Let's where are you coming from in background and that kind of stuff?
Well, I'm coming from selling very expensive luggage to rich people for the last 2 years, and it was a new skill set for me, but. I've coached for a lifetime and was out of it for 2 years, but never, to be out of it doesn't mean it's out of you. And the opportunity had one of my former players that I think very, very highly of, had an interest, and that interest was his interest. Was the reason I was interested. It's a great thing when you have a former player say, you know what, I think our school really needs you.
Well,
and so So here I am, and
Sure.
true to form, what Tim said about our guys has been true. We've got really, really good people who want to do things well.
Well, predominantly, would it be safe to say probably most of the folks around here know you from Greenfield, McLean?
And I started in 1982 at Piketon, so that took me to the SVC, and then back home for me was the SCOL, and then 3 years in Hillsboro, where I coached some great players, and that netted me the Chillicothe job for 10 years, and then we came back and started basketball for real at Southern State, and it was really during that time period. That was 2000 through 2002. Dr. Dukes gave us the opportunity to start a program there, and ultimately they built a building because of that. And but it was then that I really traveled to Southern Hills League a lot, and I'll tell you, it's small towns, small schools, big hearts.
Right.
Big heart for community and big heart for basketball.
Well, and you and I somewhat from the same journey through all those years. Let's talk about how much basketball has changed, style and the like. What's the changes you've seen since you began in 1982? And I know we don't have enough time to talk about all of them, but the big things that the fans would appreciate and how different it is.
Well, bottom line, I've been in two different coaches clinics. One of them where there were over 700 people there, and another one with over 600. And those of us that had coached without a three-point line were asked to raise a hand, and I was in a group of less than six in both of those occasions. So that silly little line that we painted around there surely has changed. It's changed the game a lot, and along a lot of things that come with that. And there's some people if it's used as a crutch, if it's used to compensate, those things don't work very well. But then again, to use it well, now it brings a balance to the game that's really, really good, and we have a better game because of it. But that has really, really changed things.
Well, and now I'm even hearing conversation about a shot clock.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that? Do you think, again, some people are saying the game slowed down too much and too much half court. What do you think about the shot clock?
It's coming. It's coming. I say 2 years, maybe 3, but we need it because internationally, I've done a lot of work in Africa with different national teams and different national federations of coaches, and it is the most obsolete piece of machinery in the African continent. It's not a problem to find a shot within 24 seconds. It's really not. And but by the same token, I think internationally we have to do that to help us on an international level. Their games are very different. They do some things much better than us at this point in time. But the shot clock has to come, and it will come.
On that note, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back, and we'll talk a little bit more to Joe B. Stewart. We'll also talk to his senior here, and we'll do that. But first, this here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
Looking for the right path to your future? Let Ohio Means Jobs Adams Brown be your compass. With the PATH program, we'll guide you every step of the way. Whether you're navigating career planning, academic rewards, or paid work experience, PATH is your route to success. For ages 14 to 24, it's time to forge your path one opportunity at a time. Ready to step forward? Visit omjadamsbrown.org/path today and start paving the way to your brighter tomorrow. A division of APCAP must meet eligibility requirements. Funding is provided by TANF and WIOA and administered by ODJFS.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Basketball 30. I'm Don Bowles here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103. We have the pleasure of having Coach Joe B. Stewart and Alex Bradshaw here with the Fayetteville Rockets. I want to remind you, though, this is the first half of our program today in our new series. Second half of our program, it'll be Tori Rummel and the Fayetteville Lady Rockets. So if that's what you're looking for, make sure you stay tuned. But I'm sure we're going to talk about some stuff here that'll interest you on the boys' side of things. Coach, you're following a guy that had a pretty decent amount of success, DJ McCummins, in the last few years. And you're fortunate that you're coming in where the program is not on the bottom end of things. A lot of times a coach comes in, I don't know, the team hasn't won a game in 12 years and yada, yada, yada. The numbers are down. That's not the case, is it?
Well, it's not. And, I think it took me about 2 weeks to he received a note from me because the fact of the matter is my career has been following situations that weren't good. And my note to him was, these guys have a work ethic. They've obviously been coached, and I appreciate it. But, it's very, very solid. Solid kids who do have an understanding that your success is based more on a work ethic than it is on a talent and an ability, and that makes for a good combination.
Well, and on that note, a lot of times you also follow a coach that's been fired or a coach that's under fire or whatever. Again, not the case.
Yeah.
DJ decided to take a different direction. The kids like DJ. It's and they work hard for him. But you do bring something different to the table, without question. Isn't that correct?
It's one of the great quotes that I always remember. Bobby Knight had said, and this has been a lifetime ago, that there's as many different ways to be successful in basketball as there are men that coach the game. We all have different skill sets. We all have different abilities. We have different things we look for. The bigger picture of guys, in my view, what these guys become as adults is far greater than any score that we're going to put up on a board all around Southern Ohio this year. So, the bigger picture is that with me, always has been and always will be. But it's the process is the process of playing these games is also a process where young boys, that used to play it as a silly game back when, it becomes important to them. But boy, we learn how to deal with success. We learn how to deal with failure. We learn how to deal with each other, and we all grow in the process.
Well, and when we talk about, and again, we talk often about, I like, as a fan, I want to see you do run and gun. I want to see you play half-court defense. I like zone. That's based more upon the personnel you have. Now, perfect world, you like to get it up and down the floor? Perfect world?
Perfect world. I like to score 100 points every time and hold the other guys to 20.
Sure.
But the fact is that, you learn over time. You've got to go to your strengths. And I'm afraid you've got to hear my story. My wife and I, were snowed in one particular day, and it was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do for food? And, she got in the freezer and, got in the cupboard, and, she took all these ingredients, put it on a pot. We had no electric, but we had a wood stove. And, about 3 hours later, what came out of there was really, really good, just using the ingredients that she has. And I think a wise coach, a good coach, guy that treats everything, guy whose only tool is a hammer tends to treat everything like it's a nail, but you've got to be adjustable in some regards. And then on the other things, you've got to be really, really solid. And my solid, consistent has always been the defensive end of the floor. We play man-to-man defense. We take individual responsibility. We help each other. We become a team that way. And so that's where we start, and that's where I start with this group.
All right. Well, Alex, let's talk a little bit about your journey. Like everybody else, I assume you played since you're a young gentleman, right?
Yep.
And what did you think, or was this where you thought you'd be when you reached this level when you were senior in high school?
Yeah, kind of. I thought I would be, top of the leader, like a leader,
Right. Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of accountability on me, I imagine that. So I think I'm right where I should be.
You played, I assume, some version of Pee Wee, we call it,
Yeah.
or whatever, and then you play junior high and
yeah.
you play high school. Talk to us about what you do during the winter and spring, summer, and fall to get ready for basketball season. Some of the things you did with Coach Stewart this summer, maybe.
So things with Coach Stewart, we would go to scrimmages at the elite, and we would just get ready as a team. We learn new plays. We try to incorporate a new defense, And then I also did AAU ball. So during summer, I would do that, travel to different states, travel different places, play against high elite people, try to get ready for the season.
In AAU, what role did you play with your AAU team?
I was more of a wing, so like a 3.
Now, to give everybody a sense, because we
Yeah.
talk about AAU, we shouldn't assume everybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
That's a form of amateur basketball, and by the way, not just basketball, but they play other sports too, but basketball. And give them an idea on your team. How many different schools? Where were they all from? Who you played with? Because I think they all assume, it's just Fayetteville going to play.
No. So I had one teammate from Fayetteville, and then the rest from Troy. There was 2 from Eaton. They were just like all around Dayton. So we had to drive like an hour for practice. So yeah.
How much value does that bring to your game?
It just a lot of value. It shows like I have to put in work. I have to make sure I'm on time. Be responsible, be held accountable.
It's a bit of an adjustment as to style and way of play when you move back to a program like Coach Stewart has, though, right?
Yeah, it is a little bit. We play like pretty fast as an AAU team. There's some like structure, but there's not a lot.
Defense is not one of the core lessons, right?
Usually for like most teams, but for me, that's what I try to a high standard of is my defense.
All right.
So.
Well, we'll take another break, folks. We're going to come back and we're going to continue our conversation with Coach Stewart and Alex. But first, this here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this harvest season. Trust Magulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Magulac, they offer on-the-farm ag tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. That's 937-364-2592.
For hot days and cold nights, stay comfortable with Schaefer Heating and Cooling, a family-owned full-service HVAC company serving the Hillsboro area for over 37 years. Turn to us for a geothermal system, heating and cooling a home and environmentally friendly, an air purifier and cleaner, and more. Our team members are well-equipped and required to complete over 200 hours minimum of training each year.
So contact Schaefer Heating and Cooling today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, it's Basketball 30 here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103. With me today, it's the Fayetteville Rockets, Coach Joe B. Stewart and his senior, Alex Bradshaw. Coach, we talked a little bit about last year and your philosophies and those kind of things. Give us an idea what the team's going to look like this year as far as you've had some time to get to know the kids and the like. You must have a sense as to what the team's going to look like as you move forward now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you start with your experienced people, and I'll tell you, I've done this since 1982. I've had a lot of young people that I've worked with, but typically, if your leader is also your hardest worker, you can expect mighty good things to happen. And so, that's what I appreciate about Alex Bradshaw is that, here's a senior and he's had some success and he's done a lot of things right to be in a position where he could and should be considered the leader, and yet he doesn't see that as some privilege. It's something he's earned, and he earns it every single day. And he earns it with things he does well, and he earns it the way he accepts things that don't go well for him. So, so starting there, our senior leadership of one Alex Bradshaw has been really solid from the time I've gotten there, and he's somebody who's really, really easy to appreciate, and somebody our community should appreciate as well.
How deep do you think your ball club's going to go this year?
Oh gosh, there you go. I always, typically, John Wooden says you need 7 guys, maybe 8. Okay?
Right.
And so I always throw that out there first because because he was pretty good at what he did.
Right.
But anyway, but we feel like we have that. I think that Alex would say we've had a core of 8 to 10 guys that every single time I put a key in a lock, we've had a core of that. At least that every single time, and we have a large junior class that push each other well and very, very basketball oriented. Have a sophomore that played some varsity ball last year and really improved and showed some things in the summer. So I'm very, very satisfied, here at this point in time to say, I feel
Sure.
like that we have 8 guys that can really, really be solid, and a couple more that may well get there. But that's what you need.
Sure.
You don't know. When we talk about having a successful season, I always feel like you never know what you're going to have until something goes wrong.
Right.
Here comes the flu. Here comes a bad call. Somebody fouls out. Can you win in those situations where the script, kind of goes off the page a little bit? How do you react to those things? How do you react when things go poorly? And can you find a way to get it done then?
Alex, new program, new way of doing things, not necessarily good or bad. How's the team settled into what Coach Stewart's expectations are?
I think we've settled in pretty well. A lot of guys are just like pushing themselves, trying to understand his concept of playing. We're still getting there, obviously, but like it's from what I've seen, we're definitely growing.
What challenges you as a senior leader? What challenges do you see with the rest of the guys on the team to accomplish whatever goals it is you have this year?
I think it's our IQ, basketball IQ, because we have a lot of heart. We have a lot of will, but sometimes like little mistakes happen, and it gets us down.
Well, talk just for a moment. When you say basketball IQ, let's not assume that the fans all understand what that is. What are you referring to when we talk about basketball IQ?
Knowing when to do stuff on both sides of the ball, when to foul, when to take the right shot, not forcing anything, just making sure that everything runs smoothly and nothing, like you don't force anything, basically.
Right. Well, and sometimes it's more about when not to do things.
Yeah.
But isn't it also, Alex, that those things not only you know about them, because a lot of people know, oh, yeah, I ought to do this, I'll do that. But when it becomes automatic, isn't that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
So, got a hard question for you.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
13 league games this year. All right? What do you think Fayetteville's record's going to be at the end of the season in league play?
That is a hard question. Obviously, I'm going to say 13-0, I don't want to lose.
All right, there's 26. I think it's 26. I'm going to blow this, 26 or 27 to win the state championship. I think it's 26 this year. But anyway, to win the state championship, what's your overall record going to be when the season ends?
That's difficult because, I'm not very familiar with everybody we play. I know most of them, but there's some that, could surprise us, because we haven't seen them or it's been a while since we have. So you said 26 games, I would say maybe, unfortunately, we lose 2. Maybe that I know of.
All right. That's pretty good
don't want that
standards.
to happen, though.
Coach, what do you think about that?
I love it. I love a high expectation, and then I love a high expectation. I love confidence. Then you've got to put in the work to build a foundation under those dreams, and he's thinking exactly what every player and what every team in this league should be thinking. Guys, if we get together, we can win them all. And I've done this a while, and I've had the opportunity where, by golly, we did indeed win them all once. But but fact is, you've gotten two really good answers from a senior here, and again, that's one of the reasons why every day's been enjoyable to me in Green. I'll tell you, he's thinking exactly the right things. It's just a matter of finding the process that'll improve us every single day. I think Alex mentioned really a great answer was, we can't play, we have a heart, but you can't win with just that. It's got to be both aspects. We've got to play hard, we got to play smart, we've got to play together, and these guys, I will say, and our leader here demonstrates that. They try to do that every single day, and it's been a joy to be around.
Okay. On that note, that'll end this segment here on Basketball 30. We've got one more little thing to talk about here with Coach and Alex. But before we do that, I want to remind you, the Fayetteville Lady Rockets are yet to come on this episode of Basketball 30, so make sure you stay with us. But first this, here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Do you have a property that is more trick than treats? That old spooky building that needs to come down. The mysterious water leak that destroys everything. And the piles of trash everywhere that scares you of what you'll find. With Brush Creek Property Pros, there is no fear. Let us handle the horrors. Call us today for all of your property cleanup needs. That number is 937-671-6843. Or visit our website at brushcreekpropertypros.com.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, once again to Basketball 30. I'm Don Bowles here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. With me again, Coach Joby Stewart and Alex Bradshaw with the Fayetteville Rockets. Coach, we've talked a little bit about the Southern Hills Athletic Conference. There's been some major changes in basketball in the state of Ohio. We're now 7 divisions. I don't know how much that's going to affect Fayetteville, and we could probably talk about that for hours, and we don't have time for that. What do you think about the Shack and Fayetteville competing in the Shack?
Well, my JV basketball coach, who, bottom line, he literally saved my life, got me to a varsity level, and from there, life has been what it is. I'm a coach because of a JV coach that really reached out and did well. Bob Patton always wanted me to coach in the Southern Hills League. He always thought that's the place for you. I've been around in a lot of different leagues, but it's about family, it's about community, it's about basketball, and that's about it. that was his evaluation, not mine. But of course, we've played Southern Hills leagues and tournaments, and we've played them in non-leagues and all that. But I don't think the home court means more in any other conference that I've ever seen than it does in the Southern Hills League. I just don't. There's upsets every year on where the home team really rises up. So it's very, very difficult to predict. 2 years ago, people didn't predict that Leesburg would win them all. Yeah. And yet they did. It was just a group that came together and played hard, smart together, and it was a big surprise. But that's just who they were, and they survived all the road games. But that's a big thing. This is a league of surprises, especially for me. It is. Personnel, who the other people have and how they play. I have more than a little bit of a sense of how different people play and all that. I've been around the block, but really, really important thing is what you can control, and that's your own guys. Are we all thinking the right thing at the right time? Do we have a heart for each other and a heart for making we decisions at the end of a game rather than me decisions? And right. If we do that, we're going to be just fine.
Alex, got just a few seconds to talk to you. One final thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the league, you've seen them all.
Yep.
Obviously, you get up for every game, be it league or non-league.
Yeah.
But who do you expect to be competitive this year? Who's that special team you're going to be interested in defeating this year?
Definitely North Adams, 100%.
Why?
Because how far they went last year, they got a high expectation. They have a lot of people who think they're going to, just beat everybody, So I just want to make sure that doesn't happen.
All right. And on that note, think your team's going to be successful?
Yes, I do.
All right. On that note, folks, that'll wrap things up for Basketball 30 and Fayetteville Rockets. Up next, Tori Rummel and the Fayetteville Lady Rockets. But first this, here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
The Fayetteville Athletic Boosters are proud to sponsor this coverage of the Fayetteville Rockets. The Athletic Boosters work hard behind the scenes to encourage their teams to do their best. The Rockets understand this and are dedicated to doing just that. Congratulations, your hard work and drive showed through. Whether basketball, volleyball, baseball, football, or any other sport, the Fayetteville Athletic Boosters say good luck, Rockets.
Looking for the right path to your future? Let Ohio Means Jobs Adams Brown be your compass. With the PATH program, we'll guide you every step of the way. Whether you're navigating career planning, academic rewards, or paid work experience, PATH is your route to success. For ages 14 to 24, it's time to forge your path one opportunity at a time. Ready to step forward? Visit omjadamsbrown.org/path today and start paving the way to your brighter tomorrow. A division of APCAP must meet eligibility requirements. Funding is provided by TANF and WIOA and administered by ODJFS.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this harvest season. Trust Magulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Magulac, they offer on-the-farm ag tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. That's 937-364-2592.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Basketball 30 here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103. As promised, joining me, it's the Fayetteville Lady Rockets. Coach Tori Rummel and her seniors are here this afternoon. I know you enjoyed Coach Joe B. Stewart and Alex in our last segment. Well, we're going to have some of the same fun in this half hour as we talk girls basketball from Fayetteville here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
For hot days and cold nights, stay comfortable with Schaefer Heating and Cooling, a family-owned full-service HVAC company serving the Hillsboro area for over 37 years. Turn to us for a geothermal system, heating and cooling a home and environmentally friendly, an air purifier and cleaner, and more. Our team members are well-equipped and required to complete over 200 hours minimum of training each year.
So contact Schaefer Heating and Cooling today.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Basketball 30 here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. And as I said earlier, just keep in mind, if you happen to be listening to us on C103, make sure you remember you can also watch this on your smart TV, your phone, your computer, wherever. Just go to our Facebook page, share and like it if you would, please. Or you can go to the YouTube channel, and you can also go to goodguysradiotv.com, and you can watch this all for free, and you can share it with your friends and neighbors and everybody as we're having fun talking about high school basketball in the Southern Hills Athletic Conference today, and that's with Coach Tori Rummel. and her young ladies, her seniors, with the Fayetteville Lady Rockets. Coach, you guys had a lot of success last year. You were 10-3 overall in league play. You had a record of 17-8 overall with a very, very young team. What was that about? How'd you accomplish that?
I think it's just overall the team play. I know we had some young players, but in addition to those young players, we had the older girls willing to do what needed to be done, be great role players, great teammates, great leaders for those young players. So yes, we did have some great play by the young girls, the freshmen coming in especially, but it was these guys just leading the way.
Well, you had the good fortune of only losing one senior.
Correct.
And again, a record of 10-3. How hard? We often talk about how hard it is for a kid coming up from junior high, especially the tempo of the game. They're always surprised. We hear parents talk about, oh, we got a great eighth grade class. When they're up there next year, the varsity will be dynamite. How did you overcome that? Because the game does get much, much quicker for those freshmen.
It does. It gets quicker and it gets more physical. I think both of those things. And I think that we prepared from the first practice in that physicality and that tempo. We played as fast as we could in practice, and we pushed those girls to the next level. And again, I can't say enough about the juniors and seniors, and then seniors again this year. They are the ones that set the stage of what practice is going to look like, and they have no problem pushing those young girls and showing them the way we're going to play.
Now, throughout the season, I have the good fortune, and some people would say, well, that's not the good fortune not to see you every game. And why do I say that's good fortune? Because I can see real progress. I'll come and see you, and then you'll play 2 or 3 games, and I'll see you a little later. And I saw your team grow a lot, not just physically, but in skill sets. Would you agree with that?
Sure. I think that's our goal. I think that's our goal as coaches and as a team goal. We want to get better every day. That's what we're there for. It's not just practice to practice, but it's practice to improve, and be able to say at the end of the year that this is what we've gained and this is what we've done. And I think the girls bought in and they knew what they needed to do, and you saw that every day with them.
Now, with last year, what was the biggest challenge you had last year? I mean, the league was pretty good last year, and you only lost 3 games, though.
Sure.
But even though you only lost 3 games, it was pretty competitive, wasn't it?
It was. A few of those teams, the Lynchburgs, the White Oaks, the North Adams, had some really great seniors playing. And like you said, we are playing a very young team against some experience. And I think that was our challenge. We were picked in the coaches pool 3rd in the small school, and we were able to come out on top and win 1st in the small school. And I think that just says a lot about the team and the grit that they have.
Was the team intimidated at all?
I think there was definitely nights they went in a little intimidated, but it didn't show on the court.
Now, you talk about physicality. Some of those games got pretty physical.
Sure did. Yes. But, hey, it prepared us for what we were going to see in tournament play. We knew what we were up against, and it's not a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
certainly.
It's not a bad thing.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about this year.
Yeah.
And we're going to meet your seniors. But first this, here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
Do you have a property that is more trick than treats? That old spooky building that needs to come down? The mysterious water leak that destroys everything? And the piles of trash everywhere that scares you of what you'll find? With Brush Creek Property Pros, there is no fear. Let us handle the horrors. Call us today for all of your property cleanup needs. That number is 937-671-6843. Or visit our website at brushcreekpropertypros.com.
The Fayetteville Athletic Boosters are proud to sponsor this coverage of the Fayetteville Rockets. The Athletic Boosters work hard behind the scenes to encourage their teams to do their best. The Rockets understand this and are dedicated to doing just that. Congratulations, your hard work and drive showed through. Whether basketball, volleyball, baseball, football, or any other sport, the Fayetteville Athletic Boosters say good luck, Rockets.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's Basketball 30, a new series we have here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV. Today, we're featuring the Fayetteville basketball teams, both guys and girls. And with us now in this segment, it's the Fayetteville Lady Rockets head coach Tori Rummel and her two seniors. Coach Rummel, this season, how's it going to be different? What fans show up, and how's the team going to look different than it did last year?
I hope that you're going to see more physicality and more experience, but only losing the one senior, I don't know how it's going to be too much different. You know, I think we'll definitely bring a different aspect defensively that we've been working on, and offensively got different sets. But these girls are going to show up every night just like they did last year. I mean, so really, as far as the difference, I can't really say that they'll be too much different. They're going to play with all their hearts.
Well, when we talk about physicality, it's just the nature of the difference between guys and girls. Girls don't grow a lot in height in high school. Most of the time when they're like freshmen and sophomores, that's pretty much it. So the physicality has to come through. A lot of it has to come through attitude and just what you think about the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would say 100% it's a mentality thing. Going into every single game, we've got to be right mentally. We've got to be all of us locked in and on the same page. And I think you'll get that from these girls.
In the past, many years past, Fayetteville Lady Rockets were known for their zone defense. You've brought in a thing called man-to-man, or it's woman-to-woman, whatever we want to call it.
Yes,
let's talk to that just a little bit.
You know, there's nothing wrong with zone defense. There's a purpose for it, and there's a time and place for it, and we don't shy away from it, but we have really done a good job. And like I said, the whole bought-in thing, the girls, a lot of them had to completely switch their brains around, and
There's a big difference between sitting, as we say, sitting in a zone defense and playing man-to-man.
Sure. And, you know, I feel like if you've got that man-to-man philosophy, you can go to a zone at any time. So we're not going to shy away from that if we need it, and there's a time and place for it. But we like some good in-your-pocket man-to-man defense, and we practice it a lot.
Well, and to that point, Riley, you've played now for Coach Rummel, what, 3 years? 3 years, I believe it is? Yes. What do you think of Coach's style? We're not talking about what you did before or anything like that, but what do you think about the style of Coach Rummel's coaching right now? Now, remember, she can make you run, all kinds of things.
This is being taped.
Switching from the zone was different, but I like the man-to-man philosophy. I like to keep moving. And
all right. Now, your team always was known to get it up and down the floor pretty good. What's your favorite role in this on this basketball team?
Probably just pushing the floor, getting the ball up, and getting that fast break.
Now, do you consider yourself to be an offensive specialist, a defensive specialist? What's your role?
I play both.
Okay.
She does play both, but I think that Riley's not giving herself much credit for the rebounder that she has turned herself into also.
Is that something you like?
It is now.
Well, here we go again, though, Riley. I bet you agree with me. Rebounding something, you got to like getting in there and banging a little bit. Do you like doing that?
She does.
Lily, you had a comment there?
I know she does. That's her favorite.
In what? At practice, you're saying?
Yeah. Getting in there and banging.
She likes the physicality.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
Well, talk about that, Riley. You've been, you like beating up on people? Is that what it's about?
I don't like shying away. I like to get in on the action.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what kind of situations that work with on the foul side of things? You've been known to get in a few of those?
Occasionally. Usually I stay out of the trouble, though.
Okay. Well, how do you accomplish that? Tell us the key to your success as a rebounder.
I just go for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you work hard and you use your length too. I think you know where to be placement wise, but I think she also, this height hasn't always been on her. She's had to learn it, and she's had to be pushed into roles that she hasn't loved, but she's come along with it, and she's done great.
When we talk about not always loving it, it's easy to look back and say, "Oh, I came that." Was it tough getting to the point that you are now?
Yeah, just the mental side of it, getting used to getting in on the rebounds. Being short all the way up till high school, I was just out there ready to cherry pick. But getting in on the action is a lot more fun now that I.
Right. Lily, what do you think about the team this year? What's your thoughts?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think personnel-wise, we haven't changed much, as Coach was saying, only losing a senior. But I think that we are much more experienced now. So I'm excited to see how the upcoming freshmen and the now sophomores are going to react to a year of experience under the belt.
And I have to apologize to the folks here as well as the ones that are watching and listening. I didn't introduce you, Riley Kleemeyer and Lily Kaufman.
Hello.
Only two seniors. Lily, how big a role are you two going to have to play to have success with all this young team you got?
Definitely a big role. I think the biggest role probably would be a leadership role, because we definitely have the most experience on the court out of the high school years. So I think that the biggest job a senior could uphold would be leadership.
Your thoughts, Riley?
I agree with Lily. I think just teaching them how we like to play and the way we need to play is going to be our vital role here.
Okay. All right. Let's take another break. We'll be back. We're going to talk more about Fayetteville Rocket, Lady Rocket basketball right after this on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
Looking for the right path to your future? Let Ohio Means Jobs Adams Brown be your compass. With the PATH program, we'll guide you every step of the way. Whether you're navigating career planning, academic rewards, or paid work experience, PATH is your route to success. For ages 14 to 24, it's time to forge your path one opportunity at a time. Ready to step forward? Visit omjadamsbrown.org/path today and start paving the way to your brighter tomorrow. A division of APCAM must meet eligibility requirements. Funding is provided by TANF and WIOA and administered by ODJFS.
With all the financial headlines, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Your Edward Jones financial advisor, Ron Lynch, can help. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, we can work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 481 Tucker Drive in Maysville. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this harvest season. Trust Maggulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Maggulac, they offer on-the-farm ag tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Maggulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. That's 937-364-2592.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's Basketball 30 here on Good Guys Radio TV and C103. And with me for this segment, again, it's the Fayetteville Lady Rockets, Coach Tori Rummel and her two seniors, Riley Kleemeyer, as well as Lily Kaufman. And Tori, let's talk about the team as how to blend, because you will actually, I assume, you've got some 8th graders that came in this year. How's that going to change the team?
Sure. The 8th grade brings in a lot of, they're spunky. They like to get up and down the floor. Throughout the summer, we were blending them in, and they didn't miss a beat. I mean, they hung in there with us. There's a few things that we need to work on as far as our style of play, but that's where these girls are going to come in. They are leaders every single practice. There's a lot of times once we get down the stretch where I don't even have to do much. We call it out, they're right into it, and they do not hesitate to put people where they need them and what we need to do to go to the next drill and make practice beneficial for every single one of us that are there, me included.
Riley, let's talk about what you've done to prepare for this year. We talked a little bit about Fayetteville and the team. What kind of summer you had? What do you do outside of basketball to get ready for this year? outside of regular season to get ready for this year?
June is always filled with shootouts and basketball camps at Cedarville, but I think just learning our own teammates and learning how we're going to play together and then teaching them that style of play that Coach Torrey was talking about is one of the main roles we have to play.
Now, do you play other sports?
Yeah, I play soccer and softball.
How has that prepared you to play basketball?
Soccer keeps me in shape. It's a little different mentally of where you're supposed to stand and how much you're moving on the field, but staying active is the main reason for it.
Anything from softball that you can translate over to basketball?
Not really.
Hand-eye coordination. She's a really good catcher. She's not giving herself any
there's
credit.
That physicality again.
She's a great catcher, and
you don't mind getting run over when you block the plate?
No.
She says, "Bring it on." She likes
there you
it.
go. All right.
Yeah.
Lily, what's the biggest thing the team has to overcome? Everybody, we could talk about, oh, gee, this is the best team we've ever seen, but to get to that level, there's still things you have to overcome. What's the biggest thing you guys have to overcome? And I want to get a little specific. Do you have to be better at defense? Maybe you need to work on defense. You need to work on shooting. What do you need to work on this year to be better?
I think our defense is always pretty stellar. I think we can always usually count on our defense. Working on our offense flowing and working together, reading off each other's body language, because not everyone, like me and Riley, have always played together, but some of our younger girls have not played with our older girls. So trying to read each other and how we're going to use the ball and what kind of plays we're going to run off of is, I think, what we also need to work on. I think we also need to work on our mental side of the game. Right. So, just staying in touch and in focus with our practice feeding into our games.
Well, you're fortunate on the Lady Rockets team. You got a lot of very, very talented players. Mm-hmm. How tough as seniors has that been, holding your spot, so to speak? How's that been?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a challenge. It's always nice to keep you motivated with something. I'd say that, I mean, I started off in the beginning, starting, and then sophomore year, I missed a year of our season. And then so kind of coming back from that, it's always nice to have someone to keep you motivated. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to get back to. And so just keeping that little fire under your belt is always nice to, have a little reminder.
Okay, Riley, there's 13 games in the Southern Hills Athletic Conference League schedule. What's your prediction, the finals at the end of the season? What's Lady Rockets' record going to be in the league?
Sure.
We're aiming to get that gold ball. We've worked for it these past few years. We've changed some things up, and our new team has given us the opportunity to really push for that this year.
Okay. What are you saying?
We're going to go undefeated.
Undefeated. Yeah. All right, Lily, you're sitting over there. You're buying into this. What about over regular season? What's your record going to be?
Undefeated.
There's 22 regular season games. What's your record going to be?
22 out of the regular? Is that what you're saying? 22 now?
There we go. Coach Rommel, what do you think of that?
I told them always set your goals high. I love that for them, and I will support that 100%. I'd love nothing more than to see it. We have padded our non-league games very heavy and with some really tough competition. So the fact that they're saying that, I love it. I'm right behind them. Let's do it. 22-0.
Are you surprised that that's what they say?
I mean, I know they want the gold ball. That's very important to them. And we're going to give it all up.
I think some fans sometimes don't realize that is a big deal, isn't it?
It is a big deal. It's been quite a few years since Fayetteville's been able to have that. And I think we have the potential. I 100% believe we have the potential. I feel like, we are the team to beat. And, I think we have a target on our backs already, just being first last year. And I think that's okay. But I think that's going to push them. I think that's going to push them harder.
Okay.
So as a coach, I love that for them.
All right. We'll be right back after this on Good Guys Radio TV and C103.
For hot days and cold nights, stay comfortable with Schaefer Heating and Cooling, a family-owned full-service HVAC company serving the Hillsborough area for over 37 years. Turn to us for a geothermal system, heating and cooling a home and environmentally friendly, an air purifier and cleaner, and more. Our team members are well equipped and required to complete over 200 hours minimum of training each year.
So contact Schaefer Heating and Cooling today.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to Basketball 30 here on Good Guys Radio TV. Again, I'm Don Bowles. With me as we move to wrapping things up here on today's episode. It's the Lady Rockets with Coach Tori Rummel and Riley Kleemeyer and Lily Kaufman. Welcome back again. So, Tori, we're talking about that record. Just the girls were saying 13-0, 22-0, and those kind of things. We talked about whether you can accomplish that. How tough's the league going to be this year?
I think the league is always tough. I think I say it every year when it comes to tournament time, we have been pushed and we have been challenged from the get-go. Every single game is tough in our league, and there's always that little rivalry. There's always that goal to get the gold ball, goal to win the league. And so when it comes to tournament time, we are prepared, I think, much better in the Southwest District than a lot of teams because we are pushed so hard throughout our league play. I think that I can't point out any one team or game that's going to be difficult for us. I mean, what do you guys think? We prepare
let's
for all
do that.
of them.
Riley, you got to mark a game on the calendar you're looking forward to. Which game is that?
I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them.
Sure.
I know as a team we're all pushing each other to win that gold ball. We've talked about it this past season, and now that we've known each other, we're ready to do it this year.
Who would be in the way of you doing
He
that?
wants you to say a name. He wants you to call somebody out.
No, not necessarily. But you lost 3 games last year.
We did.
Who do you have to play through to get there?
Either Lynchburg or North Adams.
Okay. What do you think, Lily?
I mean, there's not a specific game I'm ready to play that game. I mean, we always have certain games that before we're like, the practice before we're getting ourselves hyped up for, we're like, okay, this is going to be a hard game. We got to get ready for this game. But, I mean, we go in prepared for every game and ready to put up the same fight for any team.
Tori, you have them well coached, well trained.
I can't take that much credit.
We're
They're
not even going
good
to give
kids.
anybody any locker room fodder or anything to
No,
talk about.
They
So, anyway, your thoughts. We still got 3 or 4 weeks before season starts. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I think so. The thing about us just being a small school, out of the 18 kids, we only have 2 kids that are not playing a fall sport. So I've got them in either soccer or volleyball, which is a great thing. They're getting work constantly, but it's hard to pull them away from that and put basketball on their mind right now. And, I don't want to take away what they're doing right now. They play tonight in their first tournament game against Bland, and, they got to be focused for that, and I don't want to take that away from them. And as far as the summertime goes, I feel like they were constantly playing basketball. Out of the 18, we had 10 playing AAU, which is a lot of kids playing through the spring and summer. So they've had a ball in their hands, open gyms. We're constantly moving with that, but they've got to focus right now. They're getting in tournaments, soccer and volleyball, and we have to respect that.
Well, and it sounds like the kids have figured out that you win, are successful in the regular season by what you do with the off season. It sounds like would it be safe to say that that's where you are?
Sure. We we don't take many days off in June, and it's not just about playing basketball, but a lot of team bonding as well. We do overnight camps and do a lot of shootouts, bring the fun with that. We did a pool party, which was really fun, and we just try to stay together as a team, learn each other as a team, and start putting that work in then.
Okay. On that note, Thank you very much for coming. Folks, thanks for listening and watching. Once again, it's been Basketball 30, the Fayetteville Lady Rockets. Again, don't forget, if you're listening on C103, go to our Facebook page. Go to goodguysradiotv.com or, of course, our YouTube channel. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. And once again, it's been Fayetteville Day here on Basketball 30. Thank you for joining us, folks. I'm Don Bowles, wishing you a pleasant good day.